You know, folks, I live here in East Tennessee, and Fox News is like Coca-Cola here. Everywhere you go, Fox News is playing. If you go to get a haircut, go to the doctor, go sit down somewhere to eat. Hell, I've played gigs where the bar I was playing at had Fox News playing on the big screen beside me, and I'm trying to, concentrate and sing and read those ridiculous headlines at the same time, and it's hard to do because reasonable people are sitting back looking at this going, how can you possibly buy into this? How could anyone possibly take this stuff seriously? But in this part of the world, everyone just assumes if you turn on the news, you're supposed to turn on Fox. And if you were to walk into a place in my part of the world and they were playing like CNN or MSNBC, everybody in town would be talking about it. Hey, did you hear about them liberals over there? They had that MSNBC on in there. Can you believe that shit? Because they're just already pre-programmed to believe everything that Fox News says. And the rest of us are sitting back watching it going, well, wait a minute. Didn't Fox News themselves say in a court case that no viewer should ever take them seriously? So didn't they kind of pull a WWE here and do like Vince McMahon and just come out and tell you, hey, the punches are pulled, the storylines are scripted, but it's entertainment? Didn't they already kind of do this? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, Fox News just fits everyone's preconceived notions about the world. But one of the biggest clowns over there, and I used to think it was Hannity. I used to always think Hannity was the biggest clown they have. But I wouldn't say that anymore. It's Jesse Waters, hands down. He has got the crown of cringe on Fox News. And there are people who turns this guy on every day and takes him seriously. And he is making jokes like this. Take a look.
Where the president has his most impact. You have a lot of room to maneuver there as commander-in-chief. We don't know who she is. We don't know what she believes. She's going to get paralyzed in the Situation Room while the generals have their way with her. Right now,
Jesse Waters.
Jesse, I don't like that.
Figuratively,
Take
again,
it back.
have their way with her, control her, not in a sexual way.
Now, in any other time in American history and any other place, that would have been the end of that guy's political career to make a joke like that about the future president of the United States, to make a joke like that about a woman on the air and just laugh it off. And the panel sits there and laughs like, oh, we know he's not serious. And everybody's like, oh, it's just a big joke. And I know what a lot of people that watches this video is what the trolls would say. Oh, you can't take a joke. You guys are so sensitive. You're such snowflakes that you can't take a joke. No, it's that we see through your hypocrisy and there's zero consistency. And I hate to do the whataboutisms, but this is really a case of one. Had this been a scenario where someone had made the same kind of joke about someone like Melania Trump, Fox News' heads would have exploded. How dare you? You should have better respect for the president's wife than that. There's just no consistency whatsoever, but they always just find a way to just keep laughing about it. Take a look.
That would be great. You know, like your sister does something and you're like speaking on behalf of the Waters family. I'm sure my mother was probably go on MSNBC tonight and said, my son, Jesse Waters, made a joke about Kamala Harris being manhandled by generals in the Situation Room, and he has desecrated the memory of our grandfather, and it's disgusting. I could see my mom doing that, and I wish I had a political dynasty so I could take shots as well.
We appreciate that. All right, you know what, Greg?
Now, for those of you that forgot, or those of you who have never seen it, Jesse Waters says that his mom's a Democrat, and I really don't know that I believe him, to be honest. I sometimes wonder if this is just part of the shtick. I wonder if this is just part of the entertainment. You know, Undertaker and Kane aren't really brothers, so I'm not convinced that his mom is a real Democrat, but once upon a time, he had her call into the show, and she proceeded to roast him on the air. Take a look.
A Democrat, my mom. Mom?
Hello there, Jesse.
Hello there, Mom. How have you enjoyed the show so far?
I have enjoyed the show. I want to say congratulations, Honey Bun. We are so proud of you and your accomplishments, and you've worked so hard. Now let's aim to have you keep your job. And to that end, I do have some suggestions.
Okay.
Do not tumble into any conspiracy rabbit holes. We do not want to lose you, and we want no lawsuits.
Okay.
In keeping, I have a list here. In keeping with the Hippocratic Oath, do no harm. We need you to be kind and respectful. You yourself mentioned that humble is a stretch, so I get that. Use your voice responsibly to promote conversation that maintains a narrative thread. There really has been enough Biden bashing, and the laptop is old. perhaps you could suggest that your people take less interest, for example, in other people's bodies and talk about that.
So yeah, if that really is his mom, then I guess Thanksgiving dinners are pretty entertaining at the Waters house. But it is just so cringe to me to see people take this guy seriously and believe every headline they see on Fox News. It reminds me of a story I once heard about Lee Atwater. I don't know if you guys remember who that was, but he was the political advisor to George H.W. Bush. And he goes on television, the story goes that he goes on television and he just told a bunch of lies. There was a young intern who was working for him that was looking and going, wait a minute, this ain't true. When he came off stage, the intern said to him, Mr. Atwater, what you just said wasn't true. And he said, it is now because I said it on TV. And I really believe that there's a whole lot of people in this world that thinks that way. They know once they throw it out into the world that people's going to buy into it. And then they go ahead and build their automatic scapegoat in, and they tell the viewer that if we have to say that we lied to you, if we have to say that this was for entertainment only, then it was because the deep state was coming after us. So they've got that built-in crash pad already in place, and they can just keep pumping their misinformation out into the world. And the damage that this does goes beyond the jokes. Listen, I have a very dark, morbid sense of humor, okay? So my friends will tell you that I have cracked some of the darkest, most morbid, sick jokes you could crack. But there's a difference when you're doing it on national television on what's supposed to be a news platform, and people are taking every word you say seriously. Then you can use those jokes to push your racism. You can use those jokes to push your misogyny. You can use those jokes to promote your transphobia or homophobia and all of your bigotry. And you can do it under the umbrella of, oh, it's just a joke. Oh, no one should ever take us seriously. But when you're constantly telling people, hey, the deep state's coming after you, and you demonize everything as woke, when someone tries to raise awareness on the issues and the struggles that other people in this world are facing, but you've got a news organization just constantly striking those down, oh, that's woke, they're woke, they always strike that stuff down, then what it does, it desensitizes everyone to what racism is all about. There's going to be an entire generation of kids grow up whose parents and mamas watch Fox News, and every time that kid makes a racist joke, if someone calls him out for it, they're going to go, oh, that's just woke. Those people are just woke. Those people are just snowflakes. Those people just can't take a joke. And then all the work that was done to try to stomp out racism, all the work that was done to try to stomp out bigotry is going to go right down the drain, because you're going to have a generation of people growing up watching that stuff, thinking that that's true and that's factual, and thinking that it's okay to make jokes like that and do it about the future president of the United States. And it's already started. Their racism and misogyny toward Kamala Harris has already started. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when she gets in office and she's making decisions every day? Can you imagine what we're going to be? So the people that says, what are you going to talk about after Trump's gone? I'm going to be busy, folks, because the damage he's done is not going to go away. And Fox News is always going to be trying to latch on to stuff like that for a story and to entertain their audience. And if they get caught along the way, they'll just come out and tell the audience, oh, yeah, well, we had to say we were lying to you because the deep state's coming after us. So that's what we're going to be contending with for a long time. But it's got nothing to do with our side not being able to take a joke. Some of the best comedians out there are left-leaning comedians. And when someone goes to a comedy show, yeah, the jokes are there. And I look at it that a great comedian, roasts everybody. But when you have that type of rhetoric on a mainstream news channel and it's pushed out there into the world, it's done in a way that desensitizes everything, to where pretty soon people just looks around and doesn't realize what's going on. There's going to be a whole generation of people, folks, raised up to not understand any of this. And it's going to be because their parents and grandparents had them grow up on Fox News, and they thought everything they seen on the TV was true. Like Lee Atwater said, I said it on TV, it's true now. They're always going to believe it. But to those people in my part of the world, you know what I'm talking about. Any barbershop you go into, any place you go, they're blaring it on the TV. And us blue dots here in these seas of red, it gets pretty tiresome. But I want to make this clear too, I don't want to see left-leaning news on the TV either. There is great independent news networks out there that's doing a good job of trying to bring the truth to people. Midas Touch Network that I'm part of is one of them. We work and strive to get it right. Now, I'm sitting here expressing my opinions about things, but I'm always double-checking and triple-checking things to make sure that I'm not reacting to satire or I'm not reacting to something that wasn't true. So I think there is a lot of people out there who's trying to move the needle and do some good things, but we have to work to change this narrative. You know, they sit and they pass those Fox News QAnon shit around. They post that stuff around each other and share it to each other all the time. So to the ones that says, well, Brando, I don't know what to do. How can I go about speaking out? Or Brando, I'm in a position where I would lose my job if I did speak out. So what can I do? Well, you can pass this video around, and you can pass videos of independent news networks like Midas Touch around, and people that are striving to do better. And maybe if we do that, then we can start to change this ridiculous narrative. But Fox News, they said it themselves. You should not take them seriously.